another life, nor another life, before another life, that was only in Portuguese about meat. Then I translated, I tried to translate, and I will read to you about meat. What's the problem? Eat or not meat? After this life, what consequences? And what this type of carnivorous food can attach it, all people in various cycles from reincarnations, cause attachment in this planet. Nor exactly in this planet, because this planet is in a state that will pass to suffer, proven suffer, to regeneration. Is this the next phase of this planet? And how we can see around so much people interested in nature, in protection to vulnerable, and protection principally animals and forests, is a clear signal the time of regeneration of this planet. This arrived here. Then, unfortunately, we have the sad way to only see the bad in past. And this fix in our mind, and the probably happen, the probability in our mind, we will repeat all things that we fix in mind. Then we must learn urgently see the good in all things. Is this? Let me get the cleaner to my lens, and I will start to read. And if I can, I will comment about it. Hello. Hello, you. Here. Thank you, your presence. It's Erica. And others that I don't can see. Then Ramatis about meat in a book in Portuguese in Brazil, only have in Portuguese. Physiology of the soul, from Spirit Ramatis by mediumship Ercílio Maes. I have confidence in this medium. How we can recognize good mediums? You must see the life of this medium. If they use mediumship to gain money, I don't can say that is totally bad his communications, but we must take care. all good mediums make this work for free, without intention of money, because if we have conditions to receive so much intuitions from high spirits, um, high spirits don't will give importance to dominate no one. Good spirits never will have interest in putting prison other that here then, and high spirits are only interested in our evolution, in our good. And other spirits that are in the same level that all people in this planet, all or inferior this, will have interest in but in prison in your influence, because they are ever interested in have influence for more people they will can. Because when these people was in this planet, the interest to domination of their minds was so great. This is the dangerous. We follow mediums that ask money, because mediumship is a free from God to mediums. And if we will use help from spirits and color this, what ethic is this? Then we will attract the same spirits without ethic. And don't forget, the spirit, being a spirit, don't don't can uh, don't can be that the spirit is a saint or is a high spirit. No. In intercommunication with other dimensions are all level of spirits. And if you don't have experience, if you don't have integrity, if you don't have character, you will be fall in traps. Still with incarnates and still with spirits. Law, with law evolution, of course. Then is necessary ever study. And Kardec received informations, good informations, and he was making his searches. They made a decodification in a book from spirits, various spirits in various levels, in mediums book. Is this the book? Have in English, in French, Spanish, Germany, I think, and in other languages too. But these principles have traduction. The name is Medium Book by Allan Kardec. The Medium's Book. Okay, the Medium's Book. Book from mediums. Book to mediums. And continue here. Are the ever have a question from medium and an answer from the spirit? remember you that Kardec never make this way. Kardec only made questions, various questions, his own questions about life too. And the Spirit said to Kardec, you will make an answer here, and we spirits will answer. You will make questions now to us spirits, and we spirits will put the answer in various languages from various mediums in words. This way, Kardec made a codification to this marvelous work about knowledge that in Bible have a matter about this when Jesus said, your child will receive the fire tongue, and in all lands you will talk from this fire tongue, and all your parents, your children, your teenagers, your elders, your human being will receive it, informations from God and the spiritual world. Not with these words, but have a citation that in future Jesus said, I will send to you a consolator. Then all things remote from this work from Kardec was this time that all heaven open your doors by permission from God, and start to give informations about other dimensions in various levels of development. Here in this planet, we can observe various levels of development of the people, and in spiritual have the same, but is not mixed how in this planet. In other planet are all minds separated, liars together, robbers together, men of character together, and this way. And we can conclude that the heaven or hell are inside us, not outside. If you come to a place that you will be with persons that think exactly how you, can be a hell or can be a heaven. It depends your inner, what you have inside you, because this is the true say that the hell and heaven are inside us. Okay, are the Orientals who are absolutely vegetarian aware of the effects you report on meat? The medium, Ercílio Maes, asked to Ramatis spirit, Oriental spirit, if the Orientals have aware of the meat. And Ramatis answered, the Hindu master meditative and mystical, who continuously seeks contact with the most delicate planes, avoids meat ingestion, which contaminates the aura with the lower astral. The guides, well known in the spirit tradition, always struggle with difficulty when they want to instruct you. After the heavy banquets of greasy viscera which you digest, to meet the sophism of proteins, especially in the work of materializations. This book was written from Ramatis and Ercílio and 1940, no, 1952, 1952, 1959. This where this book was written. And materializations in those times was full in Brazil. Who was a spirit participated in various of them when we um, we would touch the spirit with your hand. They materialized flowers that you uh, take it to your house. But only a bit people were invited to these materializations, not all people. One time I received it in São Paulo. I invited, but I don't search the place. And it don't had importance to me because my ingress in spiritism was not cause see spirits. Contrary this, I never wanted see spirits. I never wanted see effects from nothing. What claimed my attention in spiritism is the scientific and moral instructions. Then I, the first time I read this book from the Spiritism, I recognized that I knew all things that were inside. I don't know, explain from what I knew this, but I have discerned, and never more I left to study Spiritism. Continue here. The guidance well known in the Spiritism tradition always struggle with difficulty when they want to instruct you after the heavy banquets of greasy viscera. They are talking about people that will work with uh, imposition of the hands in head to cure people. True spirits is this they are making talking mention, they are mentioned this always struggle with difficulty when they want to instruct you after the heavy banquets of rich viscera which you digest to meet the sophism of proteins, especially in the work of materialization. The delicate, delicate phenomena are immensely impaired by the presence of assistants with stomachs saturated with meat and who identify the climate of the morgue where the viscera are decomposing. This is also one of the reasons why most medium-sized people obsessed with barbecues and opiparous banquets where meat inabused, uh, park unproductively, and only keep erased contacts with the highest plants. Let me correct something here. In abuse. Park unproductively and only keep erased contacts with the highest plants. Some are average gluttons and exaggeratedly carnivores, ironies, and underestimate the practice and teachings intended to ascertain psychic sensitivity through the vegetarian diet. These creatures think that the subtle forces of angelic plants can marry discretionarily to the fluid eruptions of the digestions of cadaveric flaps. Here are those who understand, let me correct a letter, who understand that on medium sizes working day passes or radiations, meat must be eliminated from their tables. Who work with this uh, with pests and radiations who work with this is recommended don't eat meat in this day because the heaven in the stomach and bad star, obviously. How you can help another with bad star in yourself? It's not necessarily be perfect to help another, but for example, if you have a addiction and go to help other with this, with energization, is not so good recommended. It's prefer you will make a visit in hospital. You can help people in the streets with money and talk. Have great number of acts to help other that we can make, but this specifically to cure with imposition of the hands or a communication by your mind is better you are without heavy food in your stomach. Is this the metabolism will make you pay attention in yourself and not in help another? Is this and inter other occurrences too? Here are those who understand that on medium-sized working days, passes or radiations, meat must be eliminated from their tables. Meat must be eliminated in these days. There are others who ignore that the success of distance fluid operations don't depend absolutely on animal proteins, but mainly on the ectoplasmic exudation of an organic system clan, clan of astral impurities. The one form or the other form by the ectoplasmic exudation, this heavy alimentation, this heavy food will interfere in your helping when uh, you try to have contact with high spirits, will try pass to other good energies, etc. It's not necessary you be vegetarian, but in this day is recommended more less heavy food, less heavy food is this. Question: what is the most efficient process for the disciple to eliminate from his aura or perispirits the deleterious noises that are exuded by animal meat? Ramatis answer: it's the therapy of fasting, the process that improves, helps the spirit drain the toxic substances that come from the inferior animal, because due to digestive rest, pernicious fluids are eliminated. The Catholic Church, by recommending fasting to its faithful, teaches them an intelligent method of favoring for superior inspiration. The artery figures of the Trappist friars, saints of the great mystics, subject to frugal food, prove the therapeutic value of this food. Fasting quiets the soul and releases it towards the ethereal world. It helps the discharge of toxins from the lower astral, which are located in the human aura of the civilized. In fact, there are already some hospital institutions in your world in those times, and today, so much. In your world that have been able to extinguish very serious diseases on the treatment, pay attention, the treatment of fasting or by feeding exclusively based on fruit juice in hospitals to cure cancer. Jesus, in order not to reduce his contact with the high before tenacious harassment, vigorous of the forces of darkness, kept his mind clear and governed it with absolute security. Then, thanks to the long fasts, in which he eliminated all astral residues, uh, disturbing the intermediate vehicles between the spiritual and the physical plane. The master didn't despise this therapeutic resource for the delicate texture of his perispirit. He didn't forget to watch his own divine nature located in the troubled and aggressive world, which troubled and aggressive world, which continuously acted on him as a powerful nursery of passions and magnetic debris, forcing the master's delicate angelical physiology. We never saw Jesus leaving loaves of meat, offering pork legs to his disciples. He served himself to cakes made of cornmeal, marvelous, delicious cornmeal honey, and corn combined with juices of cherry blossoms, strawberries, and plums. See this angelical food. I don't believe that a person must change radically to stop eat meat. How Ramatis recommended. Don't make this radically, because you have a body that have centuries eating meat. Then you can start remember other texts of Ramatis. You will start lifting meat from pigs. Then you can try, depending your necessity of your body. You try after this eliminated pig, then eat only red meat of cow, and after eliminate meat of cows and start to meet only chicken, and pass it a time you determine with your body. Stop to eat chicken and go only eat fish and ocean fruits. And this way you can make a transition based in your reality, not in what you compare with other. Don't make this. Your body is only yours. Other made this, but maybe you don't can make this. Have a lot of people that say that are vegetarian, but how this spirit go out of the body when it sleep? Go to slaughterhouses. How vampires. These people only to show the society don't eat meat is an error, a serious error. We must make only what we feel in our heart necessity. Change, change food because you love animals, not to compare with other. This is don't have no one sense of logic. Okay, each person knows how must let this naturally, normally, and how don't make this fast. This will create a false idea about you. This is so much better than you eat meat and will step by step left it to make this. according to your reality, not from another, not compared to another. It is deeply shameful. No, is before. But we are not now considering the spiritual. We have no doubt in stating that an evangelized carnivore is better than as anti-Christian vegetarian. See, I think the same way. But we are not now considering the spiritual qualities, but must be achieved by all human beings, but rather considering whether or not the evangelizes creatures that still cooperate for the progress of slaughterhouse, charqueadas in Portuguese, is a type of meat, shark meat, and charqueadas, a great, a great barbecue. Refrigerators are domestic slaughters. The truly evangelized soul is full of tenderness, compassion, and love. The essentially angelic spirit doesn't rejoice in linking the fingers, born of the fat of the overbrother, not does it quote itself in the digestive voluptuousness of the stuffed pork loin or the roasted chop with lemon slices on top. It is deeply shameful for your world what the generous ox, whose life entirely sacrificed for the good of humanity and the gluttonic and carnivorous pleasure of man, is more intelligent than him and his diet, which is exclusively vegetarian. The food of ox is vegetarian. It's not understood how man can judge himself, bracelet in advance, in front absurd that irrational animal prefers food superior of that of its own owner, who is adopted by discernment of reason. We unconditionally praise the evangelizes man, even if he is carnivorous, but we warn him that as long as he keeps a cemetery in his womb, he will always be the slave, stuck to the will of the rectifying incarnations. A slave stuck to the will of the rectifying reincarnations is samsara circle. You not go out of this and have spirits various that prefer don't evolve because this attachment. We unconditionally praise the evangelizes man, even if he is carnivorous, but we warn him that as long as he keeps a cemetery in his womb, he will always be the slave stuck to the will of the rectifying reincarnations until he settles his karmic accounts with the animal species. If he is an evangelizes, he should know that the act of sucking marrow from bones and devouring sticks keeps him still very close to his ancestors, government or another. If you bind him who divorce each others due to their deep spiritual ignorance. The ingestion of cadaveric viscera is this, don't have other name, is this. You will see cadaveric viscera with lemons and fruits and soil from how the name of this corn is this, but is cadaveric viscera. And the act of killing the inferior brother both distance the border between the angel and the man, as aggravate the karmic weight for future spiritual adjustments. And you can think, well, but I'm not pretend to be an angel. You say this until you feel in your back the weight. Where is this? Karmic weight. When this starts to be so weight, you will think different. Because have ever a time that spirit are tired to pass forever, and the same problems. This day will arrive to all of us in this planet, all of us without retire no one. And when this day will arrive, you will search the ways to turn better your character, your spirit, because you want it or not, you believe it or not, you are in evolution. All this planet, all this nature, all these animals and human beings, without retire no one. All of us are in evolution. Grace of God. The ingestion of cadaveric viscera and the act of killing the inferior brother both distance the border between the angel and the man, as aggravate the karmic weight for future spiritual adjustments. Question. But we are not referring to the action of killing. The medium asked to Ramatis that affirmed this. But we are not referring to the action of killing, that is talking life for how many carnivorous creatures, but whose goodness and piety we know are not capable of killing a simple insect, let alone destroying a bird or animal. Don't have this people that is carnivorous but don't have courage to kill an insect. Ramatis answered, the integrally kind and pious hearts not only avoid killing the animal or bird, but they still don't have the courage to devour the entrails of the spices of onion, salt, and pepper. The one who kills the animal and devours it can still be less white because he assumes in public the responsibility for his act. However, the one who doesn't not kill, please, the one who kills the animal and devours it can still be less white because he assumes in public the responsibility for his act, however, but deliciously devours the flesh of the animal or bird. However, the one who does not kill out of pity or fear of remorse, but deliciously devours the flesh of the animal or bird, is slaughtered by others, acts is lie before God and his own conscience. Is slaughtered by others. These men don't kill animals, but eat delicious and pass the fingers in his mouth. Piety, distance doesn't identify the kind character because many people flee distressed when a cleaver hurts the unfortunate animal. But he turns satisfied as soon as the pot stops boiling and the turns are appetizing. This is reminiscent of the classic Saturday of Hallelujah, in which the faithful remain in a stoic fasting of meat in Lent prescribed by the Church, but are anxiously waiting for the clock to mark noon, and then throw themselves hungry on the steaming scraps, which are sewn in modern pressure cooker. Let me turn his charge. I was in charge. This. Let me see if it's possible. I think yes. I have some places. Oh, now. Oh my God. This is reminiscent of the classic Saturday of Hallelujah, in which the faithful remain is a stoic fasting of meat in Lent prescribed by the church, but they anxiously waiting for the clock to mark noon, and then threw themselves hungry on the steaming scraps, which are sewn in modern pressure cooker. The pious man who refuses to watch the slaughters, the slaughter of the animal, is almost always the most demanding in terms of the roast and the seasoning intended for meat sacrificed at a distance. It's an hypocrisy. You don't want to see the animals be killed, but after all situations are normally go fast to eat the viscera. Is an hypocrite action. This I sometimes I have necessity to eat chicken. Sometimes, but if I buy chicken all week, arrive 1 month after I don't got more eat this. Then I say to you, the process is low and take various years, and your mind, when know about all these things, will work in this to prepare your soul. The soul must give consentment to body to eliminate this heat. But I say to you, still I don't eating meat. I have a great structural schools. I have I have good structural bones in my mouth because I take supplements. I take vitamins. Is this the body is necessary to the body? And we don't have pains, we must eat supplements. Sorry, don't have other way after a certain age. You must obligatedly take vitamins, take calcium, take I take extra cal and vitamins, 23 types of vitamins in my supplement. Is not from pharmacy, my supplement of pharmacy. You will have a problem to eliminate this in your body and eat in excess this supplement. Then I use products made by more than 300 nutritionists in the world, and I never more 7 years I make this. I take these vitamins and calcium. Never I had problems, and sometimes I start to had because I was swim and it start to give me paralyzed and muscles, cãibra in Portuguese. Then I perceived that cãibra is or less vitamin, uh, potassium mineral, or you are taking so much. Is this? Then I turn short. The the dose I turn short. Middle dose. Then this stopped to happen. I was taking this so much from my necessity. And you must see your necessity, your body will say to you with pains, okay? But never more I had pain in my foot, never more I have pain here, there, never more, because the body is necessary vitamins, proteins, minerals, and water. And water have various minerals, but have two specific minerals that you must take in good supplements. And never stop to eat red meat made me bad. Never. I have great appetite. I don't I don't feel necessity to eat meat for more than 40 years. I started to make this in my teenager. And it's this. The counsel and the reason to start to eat less meat is so clear in Ramatis. I don't see this in other books. Have then a good final day, a good middle of week, and see you maybe tomorrow with Kardec. Don't forget, Tuesday, we make a reunion with mediums to uh, offer our ectoplasm to help some people in various bad situations in this planet. And we invite you, be in prayer in your room and receive what you will ask. God ask us ever. God are in all molecules, in all things, material things that are here. Because material things are only how we can see in Genesis. Material things is a modification of a principle of matter created by God. All universe have millions of manifestations, different manifestations to material things. And all things have aura, because all things are formed by uh, molecules and atoms that generate energy. Then the appearance of material things is only an appearance. Because all things that can be destructed are not definitively. And it's this. God bless all of you. Thank you to hear me. I hope that this beat lecture must have to you some reasons to transform your food way less mm, heavy. Okay, and have a nice night, and God bless all. Thank you, your company, and your presence.